Hey you guys, Class Wars Finals ended not that long ago, and I guess we can call it the tune overview for August/September 2016. I generally do these overviews right around Class Wars, and so this time around, the preliminaries were right at the end of August, and the finals were at the beginning of September. And so we're going to see another set of Class Wars preliminaries and finals within the month of September. But otherwise, we'll just go down the tabs and have a look at the tune and try and be as thorough as I can. And I think in general the Class Wars was really fun. I tripped up at the beginning, or I was just stupid at the beginning and didn't check my resistances. And usually I just leave them the way I always have them. I hardly ever adjust them, and I usually have 3 of each. So something exactly like this, but I didn't have any resistances at the beginning of the Class Wars Finals, and I had taken them out, and I'd stripped my tune completely, almost close to only 2 million BR when I take all of my BR items out, and all the BR items that I can take out, that is, and so yeah, that was just idiotic, but we do it for Outland contests just to drop our BR. My guild doesn't cash Outland much. There's maybe 1 or 2 of us that will put some Balins in of any significant number. So once in a while I'll do that, especially at the beginning. I had pushed for the first level or 2 a bit, but even so, it's hard to cash Outland a lot. So really I only do it if I accidentally bless the guild with my main tune and don't have any energy to attack. Sometimes I do that on accident just because I'm flipping through a lot of other tunes to try and bless the guild, so anyway. That was just really stupid, and it's all right now. I did manage to pull through in Warriors Hall, and it was quite fun. Even once I had my resistances back on, I lost a fight to Electric, and so I knew I had to adjust what I was doing, and I had at first Sacred Knight on. And then I switched over to Battle Oracle. I think it's just that when I have Odin on, it's helpful to have those heals. When I have Frigga as my main, you're less concerned about healing. Whereas Odin, sometimes the heals work out. Devour Soul hits well, or the Delphic hits well. What's it called? So sometimes if you have multiple targets and just everything goes right, Light of Inspiration works, but it's just not as reliable as having Frigga, and so when I have Frigga, I think I'm going to use Sacred Knight still. So I'll set up like this. But I think for Odin, I think it's much better to have Battle Oracle. At least as of right now. It could have been just a fluke, just how things went, but that was how it was. And also for Electric, I was up against somebody who had a Frigga, which is very bad in my Dimension situation this time around. So I took out 1 Dark Resistance Crystal because I have a lot of Dark Dims on at the moment, and took out 1 Fire and put in a Wind and put in another water here just to help against the Frigga, and that ended up that I managed to pull through. But even so, all of them went to timer, so obviously Warriors Hall is getting more competitive for me just because I'm falling behind a bit, but that's okay. There are lots of people on the upswing. I'm not so much upswinging, so that's all right. And otherwise, yeah, so these were the dimensions. Obviously, when your main competition is a Frigga, this is an awful thing to have set up, but I was thinking about Warlords Hall and what I wanted to do, and so, anyway. I'm still always going to set up for Warlords Hall on the off chance I can get in, but right now it's becoming more and more difficult for me to get into Warlords Hall. And so these 2 aren't done. There's only like a third of the way done, but these 3 are. And that's it for dimensions. Equipment, these 3, the jewelry and the helm, are my most recent upgrades. And with smelt equipment in the picture, those upgrades are much bigger. They're like considerably bigger adjustments to my stats. Just because they're compounded from the smelt equipment. And this, I went after the first levels a little bit with Outland, but after that, not so much. I would say a little birdie, a little panda would suggest that you not cash Outland and maybe wait a bit to cash it, because there will be a better time to do that. I cannot imagine why I might know this, but I'm just, again, little panda whispers just wait, and there will be a better opportunity to do that. And what else? The medallion going absolutely nowhere. Honor is just so out of the picture at the moment, and all my other equipment is completely upgraded. Forges and all of that stuff. So battle protection, we've been over most of this. I didn't even have my reduced resin, which is just incredible. But anyway, so this level 10 will be in a level 11 once there's an event for this. I definitely have enough to make another 10, and then that will make it so I can turn this into an 11, and so then I'll have 3 11s. So that's been a long time coming. Really, that's, I would slowly get there with dimensions. It did help having that boost after I made Odin. I got a lot of rewards back, and so I got a lot of stuff out of that. And Dragon Soul, there's nothing going on there. And tattoos, these, are pretty comfortable. There's only so much more BR I can get out of these, but I do have enough henna to do it. And so the next time that there's an advanced henna event, I'll show, maxing out my henna. And I probably will stick with this and just do all the intelligence minus charisma. I obviously want more defense, but I'm not sure I'm willing to give up the magical attack. So we'll see. I could always just change it with normal henna later if I want to. Or advanced henna, because there's not going to be anything for me. Well, no, I don't want to use advanced henna, just in case they do something there and increase the amount, or who knows what they'll do. But eventually, advanced henna could be useful, and I don't want to waste it just changing things. So what else? Let's see here. We'll do the bags once I get to the guild. And Sylphs, really Odin has been great. I still have to enchant it, and so as far as enchanting goes, obviously Odin is really the only one I'll work on for advanced henna. Tier, once it's Thor, I can use advanced henna, but I have a lot of normal henna to put into this, so that will take quite a while. And so yeah, I think it'll help once I have some more endurance here. Actually, even Odin has my better set of gear at the moment because I have nicer divinity souls in here, but even so, he's actually still lower BR than my Frigga. Just because of this enchanting. And skill-wise, I'm not really sure if this is what I want to go with. It's sort of hard because there are different situations. Definitely for single PvP other than Class Wars, I would rather have this hammer skill than have this Light of Inspiration. And I would really like to have that Delphic. I would like a 6th skill slot, but not having at least like 3 of these smaller skills that don't use up a lot of awakening seems a little bit scary to me. So I'm not totally sure there. For sure, you guys should suggest stuff to me, what you think is best if you fought somebody or you have an Odin and you think a certain setup is better. For sure, let me know. I think the passives are going to stay. I like having all of these, decreasing damage ones. The only thing I really don't like about Odin is just awakening points. There's no real way to get around it. It was something I was concerned about when I was first thinking about merge sylphs and all of that. It continues to be my least favorite thing about it, is he's just sort of clumsy as far as awakening points go. Frigga has all sorts of stuff where, this reduces the awakening point decrease rates, and so that's helpful. Obviously you can steal some, and so I never really have issues getting both of these Delphics out unless something really crazy happens. And yeah, I don't particularly like Odin in that respect, but otherwise it's been really fun having him. Oh, actually I can get a free skill here, so I should do this. Where's Tyr? I'll do that real quick. And that's not what I wanted, but that's okay. I'll just leave it there. I'll eventually get rid of this because I definitely want to set this up for magical attack. So these two will stay. Infernal Inflammation will stay. And I'll go after Shock Chain and this Roaring Lion skill. But that's about it. Definitely Thor's going to be a while. I think it'll actually still be a while before Tyr is even better BR than my Zeus or this lady. So it's definitely a work in progress, but there's no real rush. I'll just wait for events and do that. But I think that's about it for the sylphs. As for the kids, I I went with Battle Oracle toward the end of Class Wars just because I think it was the better bet. I still think Battle Oracle is great. I think Sacred Knight is also very good, and those are the two I sort of work on for PvP, and then for PvE, obviously Wind Ranger. So Little Panda also whispers that you should probably save your Blood of Zeus. I can't imagine why I know about that, but you should save them and not work on your smaller kids. Just wait a bit. And that's about it there. So this is how I had my Oracle, and then for Sacred Knight, I like having the Intercept and Apollo Shield. What else? So Titans, I did get this one through a 20k spender. Somebody was saying that the first time it was around it was an 80k spender, which seems totally a lot for anything. But yeah, I think I had spent on something small, and I saw it, and I was like, well, I might as well just push it the whole time. I had the Balins for it, but now I have to be really careful for my Balins. I did recharge quite a bit before I was going to make that Odin, and so now I'm just sort of working off of what I had already. I don't really have any plans to recharge more at the moment, but, you know, probably for small stuff. I think for the Balins that I have right now, I actually just have to wait until I see VIP cards and get those, and maybe Spirit Covenant and whatever. So for the Orderly Titan, it restores all my awakening points. And so really the best place to have that is either at the beginning or the second slot at the latest. But once you start like talking about these ones, you're pretty much already have a lot of awakening points. And otherwise, so for my setup for PvP, I've been doing this. And sometimes you'll see this this Guardian Titan much earlier. I sort of like having it toward the end, you know, when especially when you're up against like a Thor or something. You know, when somebody's in Sylph mode, sort of having that late Titan, the Guardian, when they're really powerful, is helpful. And I like having this bleed at the third turn. It gives me a little bit of room to try and kill off their kid, and so hopefully it'll hit the main character. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but any later I think it gets a little annoying doing that bleed. And then this heal is just sort of, where else are you going to put it? And also, you know, sometimes I do take a lot of early damage, and the heal does help. And then you get the Guardian the next turn. So I like that. That's what I do for PvP, and then I take all of them out for anything PvE related because they just get in the way. Astrals, okay, I've upped my Astral effect a little bit, and I'll probably do that. I'll do it for the Guardian Angel, even though I think it's ridiculous. The gold cost is just sort of some stupid thing to dump some gold into. Everything else I don't think I'll do Astral effects for. Skills, actually, we can talk about a little bit, just because usually I don't have this many points until Lightbringer, but I think I might just leave it this way. You know, it was actually sort of helpful having a higher level Lightbringer, and so I did adjust that so that I could get back into Sylph mode very quickly, or, you know, whatever it might be. That was quite nice. You know, usually I only have 1 point here, and then I have 5 in Fiery Lotus, but I made that adjustment, and I think it's pretty good. Troops, obviously I don't have any of those because of my advance, or because of my tattoos. I would say Little Birdie suggests that you collect Daru. Little Panda whispers, save your Daru instead of putting it into Guild Warpath. And let's see here, the runes, those have been the same pretty much. And these guys up to level 36. You know, I guess I could up these a bit, but I would just stick them into another resistance, and it just doesn't seem worth it. Maybe if I can trade for the stones. How many stones do I need? So 960 talent stones, and there are some events where you can trade for talent stones, and so I'll probably just wait for those, and then maybe try and upgrade the talents that way. Otherwise, archaeology, blacksmith, sort of irrelevant. We can go into the guild. These are my guildies. Let's see here. So Where'd Robin go? Oh, Robin's BR is really low right now because, again, dropping BR for Outland contest, which I need to do after this video. And then, otherwise, by BR, we have a whole slew of archers. You know, Robin would either be up here above Alan or maybe just below him. But we have lots of strong archers, and then also Rage and Rock would be our biggest knight, and Midori, who's a very low cash tune. She puts a few bucks here and there, and also gets VIP, but otherwise she's quite strong. And Skunichu, who you've seen quite a bit in some of my videos, and then Maybe is our zero cash tune, and she's okay, so Midori says that there are two main tunes, which I would agree considering how much he works on both of them, but it's sort of like an alt for Midori, and this is a zero cash tune, and so really one of the best, if not the best, zero cash tune I've ever seen in the game. You know, people claim that there's, you know, better zero cash players than Maybe, but I don't think anybody's shown me a screenshot of one, so they could definitely exist. I'm not saying that's not possible, I'm just saying that Maybe is the highest BR zero cash tune I've seen, and I'm not talking about, like, you know, zero cash now, I'm talking about ever, so she's quite strong for having not spent a penny on the game. Obviously she's done that for her main, or her mage, but not the case for Maybe. And so those are my guildies. Let's see here. The whole gang. There's probably some alts in here now just because it's really handy to have them for Outland contest for blessing, but that's the only reason why they would have some smaller tunes in the mix. So we can go to the vault and see all my stuff, and you know, of course, still saving up these things to make extra pieces of equipment to do the Holy Forge event, and some advanced sepulchrum for Odin. I should pull out some normal sepulchrum as well for the tier, but at the moment I only have advanced sepulchrum out here. The Diamond King chest, so TOK stuff, I still just save it up because I have plenty of whips. I don't have to worry about that yet. So I'm just gonna open them up once I really need to. Or maybe one day these will go up. You know, Little Panda Whispers, it doesn't really matter for the next month or so. There's not going to be a change. And what else? Advanced Henna, I got a lot of that when I made Odin. I was really stupid, and I wanted to get some will crystals out of the stuff I made. I was hoping for whips, actually, was what I actually wanted. But I got advanced henna out of it just because I forgot to trade for will crystals, and that was the best thing there. So plenty of advanced henna. I don't even need this much, but I'll just save it for the future in case we need advanced henna again. What else? So anything here that I've been thinking about? Oh, Little Panda Whispers, you don't want to use these either. I don't know what you use them on these days, but just save them. Pots and things. Getting way too many clamps, but and not enough stithies. But Dragon Invasion just gives so many clamps at this point, and the weekly attempts really make those easier. And plenty of whips at this point, which is good. There was one time I traded for. Oh, it was the time that I got that Orderly Titan. That's when I got all those whips. The trade when I spent on that. And what else? Nothing, well, too crazy. Definitely Merge Sylph is not in the mix, and I think this is enough to make Thor. I think. At most I need 30 more, but I don't think I do. And I could just get that through the online bonus or whatever it is. Otherwise, tenacity marks, still a struggle, but won't be as much in the future, Little Panda says. And milks, sometimes if this is overflowing, I just get rid of them, but otherwise, this is all I got. Little Panda says collect these, really, collect these, just save them, don't do anything crazy with them, just wait. And then dimensions, I put a whole lot of gold into getting better dimensions again, but again, Little Panda says don't worry about it, and just wait. You don't have to spend lots of gold on this anymore, or eventually. And insignia seeds, you should do this. You should get lots of, yeah, just plant these. And And yeah, that's about it. Clothing stuff, you know, happens through spender events and whatever. I just get them from various things, and I just don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do with these nocturnal costume packs? No idea. Hopefully in the future I get to actually use them, but at the moment I'm just accumulating a lot of clothing from various stuff. Like up here, if it's not going to affect my... if it's not going to open up anything into my dressing room, I just save it. So I have a lot of clothing pieces in my bags. So temporary mounts and stuff, coupons, and all of this. These are all the Sylph upgrading stuff. I'm going to have to pull those. And what else? Oh yeah, and the clothing. So yeah, these are just all pieces that I've already opened up in my dressing room, and so now I just save them. But that's about it. I mean, not much else to it. Wondering if I have any other Little Panda suggestions. Don't mention Little Panda suggestions if you can help it. Or just point people to this video and have them listen to the Little Panda suggestions, but don't, like, make it a big thing. Please, for my sake. And everybody else's. So, anyway, that's about it for the tune. If you guys have any more questions about my tune, suggestions, or whatever, I did end up changing my outfit here because people were like, or at least somebody was like, you've been wearing that too much, and go change it to some older stuff. Which I feel like the outfit that I usually go with is actually a lot of, like, older items, except for the wings. And the wings here are actually relatively new. But the rest of the outfit is sort of some of the older sets. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Take care, and have a very good day.